Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the College Success List. Today, we're going to talk about my alma mater, Wesleyan University. For those of you who don't know, the College Success List is all about listing colleges, sharing colleges that I believe strategic admissions advice will really serve different students in different capacities. So, I believe students can find success at any college, and I want to make sure that I show you what I mean by that. Like always, when we talk about college list building, I want you to think about cost, location, major, and career. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how to research colleges as we look through Wesleyan today. So, again, my alma mater, Middletown, Connecticut, an amazing institution. But the first thing you always want to look at when you look at a university, you go to their website, this is wesleyan.edu, is that you go to admission and aid, right? We want to deal with the cost. How much does this school cost and how much aid do they get? So, again, in this admission and aid, they show you exactly what you need to do to apply, undergraduate admission. You can meet the admissions team. We're going to look at affordability and aid, right? So we're going to look at what is the cost of attendance. And anytime you look at a school and you consider the cost, which again is critical, you want to look at not just the sticker price of $72,000, right, which is what they're saying is the sticker price, but what does that include? Student activity fee, student matriculation fee, optional green fund, food, housing, books, expenses. I guess 96,000 is what all this accumulates to after the 72 tuition. Oh, it didn't cost as much when I went there. But all that said, this is critical. No matter what your financial situation may be, I want you to look at this and not necessarily say you cannot afford it, but what you want to do is learn more about the school and how they offer meet need or merit-based aid. So when you read about this, I think there's family contribution, first aid requirements, parental contribution. They talk about the student contribution, what you have to do. So there are ways to fish around to get the information that you need about cost. And normally, most schools will also have a calculator, yes. So they have Wesleyan net price calculators on websites where you can actually click here and learn a lot more about all the different opportunities that they have for financial aid. So that's how you research cost. Wesleyan University and cost. I want to make sure now that we go back to out of the net price calculator, we talk about other elements of school life. So location, where is Wesleyan located? Wesleyan is located in Middletown, Connecticut, about 2 hours north of New York, about 2 hours south of Boston, if even that. But I always want students to think about not just the location, but what are they going to do on campus, right? Right? You want to think about where am I going to be, what's they're going to do outside of class. So whether that's exploring Middletown, you can learn more about what Middletown has to offer. Again, I think it was a very quaint town when I was there many moons ago. The different clubs and activities, obviously, you want to learn about what clubs and activities are available at for the student to do if they connect with some of the activities that they're currently in doing. You want to learn about their athletics and recreation, the different teams that they play, right? Wesleyan's in the NESCAC, New England School College Athletic Campus Culture. So NESCAC schools. There we go, NESCAC. The New England Small Colleges Athletic Conference. Who knew? So 28 varsity teams, 25 club and intramural sports teams. So we have cost, we have location. When I talk about location, I want you to think about student life. So there's usually a link about life at the school beyond just admission, aid, academics, which is major, right? We want to talk, what are the academic majors that students can study, areas of study. I'm showing you all this because I really want students to align their strengths and their interests, but make sure that there are programs of interest for them. So different types of degrees, if you want a BA or a bachelor, you want to see what the majors they offer. Undergraduate, African American Studies, Art and History, Astronomy, Film Studies, Government, History. So you want to know, what does this major entail? Who are the professors teaching it? What classes do they offer? You can even request information. So anytime you go to a school, check out what majors that they have. Wesleyan is well known for film studies. Shout out to Lynn Manuel Miranda, all right, one of our most famous alums. Arts and Humanities Division. Again, I'm showing you these different academic opportunities to learn more about the major. I know I'm scrolling fast, but I'm trying to hold your attention and at least show you where you can look to learn about the academic offerings of an institution. So if I look at departments similar to social sciences, natural science, and math, academic centers if you need additional support, or even not even additional, just in tandem with what you're doing. So there we have it. We have cost, location. I've showed you the majors, or how to look for the majors, but I always want families to think about career. There has to be an end game. What's going to happen after my student graduates? And usually there are opportunities for students to learn more about what current students have to go through, or the Wesleyan Connection, which I believe is for alums, or these are the famous alums, and learning about what the alums are doing. But there usually is an opportunity for students to learn about life after a college. And you want to at least look on a website to see if you see something like this. I would love to see it on Wesleyan's right now, and I don't. But that doesn't mean that that isn't here. But cost, location, major, career. That's what I want you thinking about as you examine colleges. And again, a lot of colleges offer students different ways to succeed in life. I want you to do your research about those 4 key pillars so that you have a clear understanding of how Wesleyan University works. From an admissions standpoint, I want to make sure I use a special tool called Custom College Plan with our students. And yes, this is $4,000 or $6,000 difference, same thing. But I use this because I want to show families exactly what the student admit rate is, which is over here, 17%. This is totals as of last year. It'll be new this year. Again, you learn about the location. Admissions, early decision versus regular decision. How many women apply versus men? Students enrolled, the gender balance. And again, just the admission rate. 40% of the students who applied early decision were admitted, where 15% of the students that were admitted, 15% of the students who were admitted, you know what I mean. So 40% admit rate versus 15% admit rate of the regular decision students. Thank you. Early decision, 40%. Looks like it's advantageous to consider early. Regular decision, you have here. Wesleyan is score optional as of the time I'm making this video, but there's information here. GPAs I don't like to really get into because a lot of schools have grade inflation. I can learn about the different deadlines and essays. I can do research. What schools does Wesleyan overlap with? This gives me a full workup of all the different elements of Wesleyan and schools that are overlapped, with like Brown, Yale, Tufts, Cornell, Williams, Vassar, Swarthmore. So I'm trying to show you what these schools have to offer, and I think it's important that you learn on your own. This is an exclusive tool. I understand that if you work with an independent consultant, I'm hoping that they have something similar to a custom college plan, but then you can also always go to the website, okay? So I want you to start here. Learn about schools from their websites online. You don't have to all of a sudden jump on planes, trains, and automobiles if you can research schools online to figure out if it's worth your time. Again, always start with cost, then I will go to location, learn about their academic programs, and let's see, information for careers. Let's see if they have if I can type it in, no. But there are schools, and I'll try to do in the next video, that you get a lot of information about next steps. So I hope that you found this helpful. You can always come back to Strategic Admissions Advice to learn more. You can also learn more about our continued college success list. All right, I want to make sure that I identify different parts of different schools that can make students successful. Thank you so much for tuning in, and hopefully you'll check us out. Thanks. Bye.